Good evening, ma'am.
Very good evening, Sunita ji.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great,
Uh-huh.
and your face smiling as always. You
Yes.
really you creates that aura, and you send those vibes from your end
Mm-hmm.
to the other end also.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, I was prepared that you are definitely going to ask me, Kavaljit ma'am, how has your day been,
Mm-hmm.
and what to answer because here at my end, I can't say my day went very well because it's hard to conclude that how has the whole day been so far.
Mm-hmm.
Because it goes sometimes some good stuff happens, there's all of a sudden something bad takes a turn other way.
Mm-hmm.
There are some complaints by the staff, sometimes hospital staffs, they are having complaints from my cafeteria staff as well, and I am always busy in resolving all these issues,
Mm-hmm.
snubbing someone, do not do this, that way. And there is hustle and bustle around because at this very moment, you can have the idea I'm sitting in the cabin
Mm-hmm.
at my workplace. And thank God you chose this time. Otherwise, at 4 or before that, with this time, there is great noise all around because that is the OPD time of the doctors. So
Okay.
all around patients, they are sitting and they produce their own
Mm-hmm.
noise. Yes. So
Yes. So there is a lot of work on your plate and you actually signed up for it, right? So it depends on your outlook. How do you see things? And I'm sure that when you have signed up for these kind of things, for these kind of responsibilities, so you made up your mind already that yes, I am resilient. I am good enough that I can tackle all these things. And I'm sure that you're doing it really well because I can't see any trace on your face, any worry, any stress kind of thing. You always look so radiant, so, I mean, confident, radiant, and words will fall short describing you, right? And it's always so great meeting you, and you always add some kind of flavor to my day, sweet flavor to my day. So, yes, meeting you is a blessing for me.
thank you, dear. Thank you, Sunita. Actually, now it has become a part of my routine.
Hmm.
Like I need not to make any extra effort for all them. The moment I wake up in the morning and after that doing my all household stuff. Actually, I don't do anything so far as household chores are concerned. But yes, I do my workout or I just make some mental calculations like
Hmm.
for my work or the other day how it's going to take shape. And now recently, now when I have again started working on my communication skills, so it is an extra addition in my that list of works. So I have to plan out that all those things,
Hmm.
and I am prepared for whatever. Like the moment I will enter, I will go reach to my work. It's all unpredictable that what kind of environment I am going to face, I will face over there.
So
So
true.
I'm prepared for that now. It's not goody goody all the time,
Hmm.
and actually the life is very tough. It's very difficult. Like for you people, like the way now the environment is taking shape and it's bringing its inner core out, that is a different part of the story of your side. But life is not easy. My side also in the
Hmm.
cities, there are some. It's more chaotic, and people, everybody is restless. People have become impatient, intolerant, so it's in spite of your all efforts, like to coming up to everybody's expectation is not possible.
Hmm.
Despite that, we try our level best, but again, at the end, 50% of the people they are not happy with you for different reasons. Some is not happy with whatever is being served to them. Some of them they are not happy because they envy or something like that. So all the time, this thing, this bloody game goes on all
Hmm.
around.
True,
But
true.
now it has become a
Hmm.
part of my life because I have chosen it.
Hmm.
I was to do something all the time, and moreover, when I was in job, even then it was not a smooth sail.
Hmm.
At that time, the obstacles and the situations they had always been challenging.
Mhm.
It's challenging everywhere, challenging your side in your way and
Mhm.
challenging my side my way.
Mhm. Right, right. Nothing
Life is
comes
not
easy
easy.
in life. Nothing comes easy in life, and be it any profession. And when you meet challenges, when you take that step forward to these challenges, then only you grow as a person. Otherwise, you'll be in your comfort zone, but you wouldn't grow, right? So that's the thing. And I
That's
can
true.
totally
Hmm.
resonate with the thing that you've just mentioned, that in cities, the life is very chaotic. There is a lot of hustle, bustle, a lot of competition there, and it is taking toll on people's sanity, right? And for that, they are trying to find a reason or find a place where they can breathe. I mean, where they can take that sigh of relief, because they are
Hmm.
always at stress, they are always at work. They can't sit quietly, they can't sit
Hmm.
with that peace, because somebody is always thriving, somebody is always striving to go up that corporate ladder. And if you'll not strive, then you're going to lag behind from them, right? So you always have to
That's
keep
true.
on pushing yourself, keep on grinding, and that makes the life worse, worse, I guess. And that was the reason. That was one of the reasons I shifted to village life, a slow life. And here also we are facing some kind of struggles these days, especially during monsoon, but it's
Yeah,
okay.
because
It's
of
part and
natural
parcel of
calamities.
life. Yeah, but it's okay.
That's true.
We have to live somewhere, and village is a better option for
Hmm.
us. So we are fine, right? Okay, lovely. So we started all out of nowhere, and people must
Yeah.
be very puzzled that what are they talking about. They started with your work, and then city and village life and everything. So could you please introduce yourself in brief so that people would know a bit
Hmm.
more about you?
Certainly, certainly. I'm Kavaljit Kaur. Basically, I'm an academician from the core of my heart because I have been into academics associated with that field for more than 30 years. But recently, I plunged into altogether different arena. Like the moment people might have got the idea,
Mhm,
whatever I'm doing at the moment, I run a cafeteria. And it is situated inside the premises of a hospital. So that's why it's noisy all the time, all around. All of a sudden, some beeps or these gadgets or machinery that pops up in the background. And of course, yes, if you want to know about something about my family, my children, they are grown up, they are away to pursue their dreams. Both are studying. My son and daughter both are studying. They are in the medical field. Yes, I'm these days working on my communication skills because now I'm picking up the stuff out of my bucket list. What is
mhm,
next? And this learning English and to be fluent in this language.
mhm,
This has always been at the top. So
mhm.
these days I'm working on my communication skills.
Right, right. And at some point in time, you'd been continuously working on your English language skills, and then you took a long gap, and then you're back now, right? So, what made
Hmm.
you bounce back to this English speaking journey?
Actually, I took a sort of, you can say, sabbatical.
Hmm.
It was not that I gave up or something like that. I'm not that kind of person as well because it took me so long, a greater part of my life, just to make a decision that I want to work on, to improve, to grow myself, to work on my personality and language learning and English, to speak in English. It is something which defines your personality in today's scenario, the kind of world we are living in at the moment. And especially when it comes to cities, then it is something when you like competing with each other. And if you want to, you might have heard of survival of the fittest. I was
Hmm.
making all the efforts to keep myself fit so that I could survive in this kind of environment. And English was a must.
Hmm.
It was not must for me that I needed it at my workplace. I was a teacher, I was a professor in the college, and I knew the vocabulary or the discourse related to my subject. I'm from science background. So that was enough for me. I could deliver my lectures very well with all the proficiency because when you when it comes to science subject, like everybody is after understanding the concept. Nobody was there to judge me whether I'm making some grammatical mistakes or not. Hardly mattered. And even I did know that was I making some errors when I was delivering. I used to deliver lectures to my students, but once I was out of the classroom, back to the other environment, though it has always been Punjabi, my regional language, but some lust, some fire was there because nobody forced me to learn this language. Nobody defined it that English is one of those components which define a personality. It was my own assumption. It was my own, you can say, viewpoint, my own perception that if you speak well in this language, you always get an upper edge. I have been to the college, to the university, and at that time in the universities, the students' number, the strength was very much limited, and those limited number of students would come from far off places because it was always done happening at the merit level. So, out of if there were 25 students in my when I was doing my MSc, and out of those 25 students, at least more than 20, they were so fluent in this language because they came from very, you can say, high level or English medium schools. They studied they came from that background. And the students like me, they always remained shy, feeling some complex inside and never daring to speak up. I had been like that. I don't know, it was something inbuilt. But that lacuna always stayed at the back of my mind. I won't say that I was a meritorious student. Yes, I was a hardworking one. But I could never dare to speak up in the company of four or five friends. So after clearing my university, then got the job. Everything was going perfectly fine if you see it from a distance. Everyone would say that Kawal's life is perfect. Everyone would say she speaks very well. I'm sorry, dear,
Oh,
you'll
there is a
have to
power
bear
cut.
it.
Uh-huh. No
Power
problem.
cut. There's a power cut. But Janet is going to pick up soon. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But Sunita, that was my own word where I had decided or I have had assumed that if you don't know English, there's something important component is lacking in your personality. So it consumed so many years, almost all productive life of mine,
Mm-hmm.
professional life. But just 3 years back at the maximum, when I took up, yes, during college time even, I used to go to my some colleague from the Department of English. Would go to her, please let me know. I want to say this thing, how this word is pronounced, or what vocabulary word we use if I have to convey this thing. So I have been tutoring myself that way. That has always been there. I was doing that much of exercise, but till 3 years back, I didn't know that onto YouTube, some this kind of privilege is there, some these kinds of professional platforms are available. And accidentally, I stumbled upon one video. I'm not a YouTube person. Even if today somebody says you are a YouTuber, this doesn't define my who I am. And actually, it's not working for me also. Moreover, I don't know how these contents are created. Reason being, I have so much on my plate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I learned this thing that English can be learned this way by talking to some professionals or talking to people at random. And that way, I started my journey. And for 6 months in my family, no one knew what is happening inside the four walls of a room when the door is shut. What is
Mm-hmm.
happening behind that door?
Right.
But yes, I told you, na, this was my challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I have to because I I told to myself, Kavaljit, you are not going to die with this regret. And why think there is no shame in accepting this thing? There is a flaw.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody considered it as a flaw, and you have the idea that the last 12 years I have been at the top of the hierarchy in my academic field. So when hundreds of faculty members, they work under you, and non-teaching staff, teaching staff, and thousands of students you come across in my journey over of more than 30 years and being a head. Of course, I was hesitant that how would the people they take me, at least my students. Their principal is learning English, she doesn't know this much. Or how would my the people who know me socially at the social front, they would take me. But then I took that step. I built up myself that I have to accept this challenge. I
Mhm.
want to come out of this complex. And
Mhm.
this is a language, this is the only tool which can bring me out of this shell.
Mhm.
So this way my journey started. Yes, your question was that what happened in between for 1 year. And because always my plate had been full, it has always been full. And at the tail end of my career, then for the last 3 4 years, I was deciding that I have to quit my job. As per people's version, it was a foolish kind of decision. Who at the top, reaching at the top and getting a high paid salary, quits the job? But my mission, another thing in the bucket list was I want to become an entrepreneur. It was not that decision which just popped up just 4 or 5 years back. It was back then when I completed my college and university education. I was never to come into this education. But in middle class families, once you attain a degree, and there is a big story behind coming up to that level, attaining so much of degrees. No one in my family was that much educated. In fact, I'm the eldest in my family. But again, some fire was there. I was to prove to someone that I want to reach there. But there was no one to guide me. I come from a very humble family. It was my conflict within me somewhere. It was some tug of war between what I was from my inside and that Kavaljit which it was there for the people. My life have been it has been this way, Sunita. I don't
Mhm.
know how would you define it,
Mhm.
but I have always been at a war front. That kind of mental
Mhm.
state, you can say. In I would like to use some phrase in Punjabi, if you can understand. My husband says, "ਇਹਦੀ ਪੂਛ ਨੂੰ ਹਰ ਵੇਲੇ ਅੱਗ ਲੱਗੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ." I don't know whether you can understand it or
I can
not. So,
understand. I can understand.
okay.
Mhm.
So, mean what he meant कि इन्हें अपने लिए कोई ना कोई चीज कोई पंगा पा
Mhm.
के रखना है. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
always somewhere in the middle of something and I have to complete that.
Uh-huh.
I don't know somebody would say there is something wrong with my personality. I have enough in my life. I got
Mhm.
everything. But some lust has always been there, and now it was to learn this language. Yeah.
That's really
Yes, I took
inspiring.
sabbatical.
Uh-huh.
Sorry to interrupt. I was to create jobs because I wanted to become an entrepreneur back then.
Mhm.
But in middle class families, once you attain the degrees, this teaching is taken as a best profession, very
Mhm.
respectable profession. And so far as the time uh, this is concerned, the stay at the workplace, that is also like you can devote time to your family once you are back after at 3 or 3:30,
Mhm.
you are back.
Right.
But I spent my whole life doing that thing which had never been on my cards, though when I came into teaching, I took up that teaching as a challenge. My students used to adore me. When I start describing my journey, I forget where I'm sitting.
Mhm.
Like it has been so not full of challenges. I enjoyed that a lot. My students used to adore me as a
Mhm.
teacher. And yes, when I was out of the class, it was a kind of thing. No one else can teach
Mhm.
better than you, Kavaljit.
Uh-huh.
No one can make the concepts clear to that extent. I was a mediocre student. That's
Mhm.
why I think I worked hard to that extent so that my students should understand all the concepts related to this science particular topic. But yes, for the last 4 5 years, then again I was back to that dream. I wanted to become an entrepreneur. I have done enough, earned enough, you can say, in whatever way you say. Earned in the sense, not only in the form of money, respect also, respect from the people around, students also. My kids are grown up, and there is no end to the responsibilities, Sunita. Kids will remain kids forever
Mhm.
for the parents.
True.
But now it is the time. I don't know how much productive life is left, but now I want to do something, and that was to
Mhm.
create jobs for the others. So
Mhm.
this opportunity came my way. So now I have 7, 8 employees who are working with me. At least I could fulfill my that lust of creating jobs for the people, because
Mhm.
being a head of the institution and throughout my journey, I realized highly educated people, they are not getting jobs.
Mhm.
There is so much of unemployment around us. If they succeed in getting the jobs, they are underpaid. At least now I'm capable enough to feed at least 7, 8 families.
Very well, very well. And I tell you, there is a very little percentage of people who think out of box, right? And people think like those who are in jobs, they think like when will get retired, when will leave life with peace, no earning, like we have enough in our bank and they've become complacent and they don't want to thrive more, they don't want to strive more, right? But a very little percentage of people, they work till their last breath, they want to give back to the society. So in your case, what made you do this at this stage in your life, right? So what made you, how do you get all these energy from to do so many things at a single time? Where do you get all these energy from? Because at some point in time we feel tired, we feel like our body is, our health is deteriorating with time, what I mean. But still you get some energy, you
Yeah,
still get some
I
enthusiasm.
understand your point. I understand your point. It was there inside me all the time, from within me. Like I am my own inspiration, you can say. Or a couple of seconds, minutes ago, I told you that fire has always been there. That fire never died. That
Mhm,
has always been there. And so far as aging is concerned, or year number of years is concerned, it is a biological phenomenon.
mhm,
Every day, new day comes, and it goes, then the new another day. So it's passing of days is just a kind of thing which is not under your control. You
mhm,
can't control your itching, but you can control your mind.
mhm,
I believe it's the body which gets aged.
mhm,
Mind always stays young. That's why we say when people get old, still that child remains inside them. So
mhm,
from where that child comes, child is always there. So that nobody asked me or pushed me, or nobody inspired me that I saw somebody that I want to become like that. It has always been inside me from day one.
mhm,
But I remained so busy throughout my life that I could never spare that time out of my life productive time. And I have reached over here. Now I have come at that stage where I afford to fetch that time and contribute in this way.
mhm.
I have
Amazing.
always been like this.
Mhm.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing. And sometimes we look up to some person who acts as a guide in our journey, like acts as a mentor also. So, do you have any person who you look up to, who you want to be like, or who acts as a guide for you?
Cafeteria, to come into this field was actually not my cup of tea, because I'm not foodie. I don't cook. I'm not good at cooking. And to come into this arena was really challenging. Of course, I wanted to create jobs for the people, but I was to come up with probably with some tuition kind of thing where I would employ the people and offer them handsome salary. That was there, and that was something very normal for a person who has been into teaching for more than 30 years. But it was also clear that after a gap, with the gap of, when you are back to education, like into come into teaching, and science is a subject like English language, science is evolving. Every new day something new is coming in the field. So much of the research is going on all the time. And that was there. I was clear that to be back to my subject with all those cleared mindset, when in the last 10 years or 12 years so much new has come in my field, because I'm someone from the medical background, so that I won't be able to justify, because my purpose was not to earn money just by giving tuitions. That was not my purpose. Cafeteria came my way per chance.
Mhm.
My sister runs a cafeteria. She is a very successful entrepreneur, my younger sister. She pushed me up for this thing. Okay, you want to go for teaching? Forget it. But grab this opportunity. And when I told her, it's not my cup of tea, I know nothing how to procure the things, how to manage the stuff. And I can't, sit on the counter. I have been in a big chair and a huge office. It's not possible for me. But she inspired me a lot. She brought me into this field. Like you see, now I'm sitting in the cabin. My staff is there who's looking after, and there is someone who is managing it. They are very, you can say, she's highly competent enough. So my sister, she guided me.
Mhm.
Then I took 1 year sabbatical from this journey of learning English for the same reason.
Okay.
That time I invested on going to her cafeteria, learning the nitty-gritty of this business, how the things are procured, from where the items, these raw materials, they are, she buys, and then to build up relationship with different vendors. Because nowadays, to start some startup like in cities, it's not taken as like doing something at the low scale. You have to come in the field as a competitor, like
Mhm.
with certain level also. So I learned all those things in that 1 year.
Mhm.
That was the reason behind taking sabbatical from this platform.
Mhm.
Now when the things are settled down, it's tomorrow, it's going to be the birthday of my cafeteria.
My
Tomorrow,
goodness.
yes.
Lovely.
Yes, it's going to complete 1 year.
Uh-huh.
And of course, we are going to do some celebration also. But this 1 year, how it has passed, it's difficult to recollect everything,
Mhm.
because through this 1 year, I have been so busy in learning the all the ins and out of the business.
Mhm.
And by the grace of God, for the last 2, 3 months, I'm at ease. My staff is working properly, and there is no issues at the moment. Or you can say, now I have tuned myself for
Mhm.
all these things if something happens.
Mhm.
So that way I am now. I find myself in
Mhm.
that zone where I can work on my grooming. I'm back on this
Mhm.
journey of learning English. That
Mhm.
at least whatever time, for whatever span of time, my staff is working well. Because after a few months, again, some disturbance that pops up at the work
Right,
front.
happens.
Sometimes some employee that enters who starts creating trouble, and it spoils the whole setup, your whole team work. But so far, you can say so far so good. So
Mhm.
that time now I'm spending over here.
Right. And it's great that you jumped into this niche and you learn with experiences. So it has already been a year for you in this cafe. So any lesson that you would like to share with other people that you've learned so far? Any lesson, anything you have learned from your mistake that you would not repeat again?
Mistakes are part of life.
Mhm.
And every second moment, if you are going to do something new again, you are going to make mistakes. You can't learn from your previous mistakes,
Mhm.
assuming that, okay, I have learned from this mistake and I'm not going to make another mistake. Next moment, situation could be different. Again, you are going to make mistakes. So mistakes are a part of life, but once you make that mistake, then you learn out of that mistake and you try to do something bigger.
Mhm.
So when you will be doing something bigger, again, you are going to make mistake at that level
Uh-huh.
also.
Sounds
So
practical.
making mistakes is a something unavoidable.
Uh-huh.
At you can't reach at that stage where you can say, okay, I have learned it out enough. Now I'm not going to make any mistake. So
Mhm.
they are going to stay with us, because every day is a new day, and every day, new day comes with new challenges.
Mhm.
Like if I'm tackling and catering to different people, the tomorrow was some different kind of people, they would be there at my
Mhm.
cafeteria. They will be coming with some different kind of mindset. So which is totally unpredictable. I don't know what
Mhm.
kind of scenario would be there. So situation is different. So again, possibility of making mistakes that will stay forever. But yes,
Lovely. Mhm.
we all have got just one life. You shouldn't have any regret. And I believe if you make more mistakes, it means you are growing more in your life.
Mhm. True, true.
because you learn from every mistake. Every
Mm-hmm.
mistake comes up with some good result at the end,
Right,
because
right.
you always have that intention. Mistake mean you are pinched somewhere, and I don't want to be pinched again for
Mm-hmm.
the same reason. Next time reason would be some different one. So it's a kind of growth.
True.
So if you want me to give some message to the viewers, if you have that kind of mindset, you may call it progressive, but I don't call it progressive, it is growth.
Mm-hmm.
This is our terminology. We say somebody is doing progress. That threshold I cleared years back.
Mm-hmm.
If you are to define it, or you are to label it as somebody progressed a lot in his or her life. Now I'm just trying to grow, and I want to grow till my last breath.
Mm-hmm. Lovely, lovely. So I'm really curious to know what is the definition of progress from your lens? What do you mean by progress?
It is all subjective, Sunita ji.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody says, if suppose somebody is getting high paid job, that is a progress for
Mm-hmm.
someone. When your kids, they cross your threshold, like through your threshold, in the sense,
Mm-hmm.
always every parents, they want their
Expectations.
children must, yeah, expectations, yes.
Uh-huh.
That is also your progress. You feel you are done with the mission of your life. And I remember the day when because I have been from government school, my mom was a government school teacher. And it has always been at the back of my mind when my daughter was born, from that very day, that I wanted to send her to the convent school, because I didn't know what this convent meant at that time. And I remember it was very hard to send her to the convent, because even at that time the parents were interviewed, and the persons like me who were not into English at that time, and into was taken up by the fathers and the nuns. And you understand that the internal situation going through we both the parents at that time. So my child could get that admission in the convent school with great difficulty, but finally she could make it. So for us, that was the accomplishment, that was the
Right.
progress. When
Mm-hmm.
for the first time she I dropped her at the door, and she stepped into the convent school.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter, I have no words,
Uh-huh.
ineffable, the way she was groomed in there, and the way she started speaking in this language from the very lower standard. And after that, her declamations, debates, and everything, everywhere she used to be at the top. And then it was my dream to become a doctor. I couldn't. But the day my daughter, she cleared the entrance, she went to the medical college, and on the orientation day, all the parents, they were called there. And when I was sitting over there on one of the benches, and I was just talking to myself that tomorrow my daughter is going to sit over here. She will be taking her classes over here. That was also progress.
Mm-hmm. An
So it's all
accomplishment.
subjective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the definition of progress, it is not uniform. It's not same for everybody. Everybody has its own definition of
Mm-hmm.
progressing in life, making
True.
progress in life.
True, true. So for you at this very moment, what is progress? Like for me, when I have a healthy conversation with someone, for me, it's a progress. I am progressing day by day, right? So for you, what is it?
Again, there is it's. I can't say that there would be some day when I would be in a position to say, okay, I have made that progress.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gradual and it's a journey.
Mm-hmm.
For me, at the moment, I want to become a very good speaker.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go abroad to see my children. And again, there would be, I'm still, worried. There would be some accent problem, because I'm not that confident.
Mm-hmm.
Like talking to you, making errors, it is acceptable. But how to converse with the people sitting over there at the immigration counter,
Mm-hmm.
and people like the native people over there. So, for the time being, for me, the progress is when I would start, I will be in a position to talk to someone with confidence. Though I am confident, everybody might be, or most of the people might be saying, but I know when I speak to someone in this language, when I am doing it consciously, like
Mm-hmm.
I know I have to speak in English,
Mm-hmm.
when my mind and my inner soul, they are not resonating with each, there is a gap, there is a lacuna. So I want that lacuna be filled up,
Mm-hmm.
that gay gap should be filled up so that I speak like you. Sunita, you speak so flawlessly, so confidently, and yes, I want to be someone like you. I
Thank you
want to
so
speak
much.
that way.
Uh-huh. But I
Yes.
can say that you're totally filled with confidence. It's just because of the lack of practice. You took a sabbatical in between. That's why you have become a bit conscious. But down the line, I'm sure you're going to come back to the track and you're going to speak fluently. Although you sound fluent to me right now, but still you're feeling conscious. But down the line, with regular practice, you're definitely going to gain that momentum, to gain that confidence, right? Have you started watching Hollywood movies for that matter?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. My daughter pushes me a lot. So recently
Uh-huh.
I'm watching The Good Doctor.
Okay, lovely. Do you enjoy Hollywood movies?
No, because again, that under language problem. So
Hmm.
I watch that movie with the subtitles also.
Initially, we have to do it.
Accent is a big issue. Accent is a
Mm-hmm.
big issue. So
Hmm.
when I go through the subheadings, then I look at their face.
Hmm.
Then okay, then I understand. Yeah, he spoke this word. But if I
Yes.
stop looking at the sub those headings,
Hmm.
subtitles, sorry, then number of times or majority of the time it becomes difficult for me to understand. But I'm trying.
Hmm.
I'm working on it.
Yes, it's all about trying. It's all about taking that first step, and gradually you will be able to understand it very clearly with that ease, right? And there are some movies where you'll see Indian characters speaking in English. I find those kind of movies really interesting and something I can relate with. The culture,
Mm-hmm.
the accent, we can
Mm-hmm.
relate with it. So we enjoy watching those kind of movies. But when it comes to British accent or maybe American accent, I too don't
Hmm.
enjoy it.
I watched one movie that was a series, Finding Ola. So that
Okay.
was all together related to. I resonated myself with that.
Mhm.
That is some Gulf countries TV series, and
Okay.
with the same family system, everything
Mhm.
same ditto. So there I didn't need any subtitles.
Mhm. Right,
That I
right.
could that I could
Yes.
understand. I
Yes.
enjoyed that a lot.
True, true. So the fault is not in us. It's all about culture, the difference in culture,
Culture,
right? The difference in accent.
yes,
That's why we're not able to understand.
accent.
Yes.
Hmm.
But it's okay. Keep on trying, and definitely you're going to get that, right? Okay, so we are running out of time. And at last, I want to thank you for being here, for sharing your insights with us. Those are truly powerful. And I'm sure that it is going to lit some fire in people out there also. They are also going to start their journey, not just in English, but maybe something new in their life. They would push them to do something for themselves, right? As you have also started your cafe and thriving in it, facing the struggles and
Hmm.
overcoming it. That's great. Anything before we wrap up you want to share?
I was to say so much of the stuff in the beginning also, but yes, I want to convey my gratitude and my thanks, Sunita ji, for giving me this lovely opportunity to share my part of the story with you. And it's really honor for me to be onto your channel. You know, I feel your channel is the most watched channel these days. So far as this learning English kind of content, if someone has to go for, is concerned. So it's a great honor to me
Hmm.
also, for me
Hmm.
also, to
The
be
feeling
here.
is mutual. The
Thank
feeling
you
is
very
mutual,
much.
and looking forward to seeing you again, right? And having more meaningful conversations with you. Okay, then.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
then,
you.
ma'am.
Bye
Have a great day
bye.
ahead. Bye. Take care.
You too. You too. Thank you.